The birth of a marvel. The sea was a treacherous expanse, and no place understood this better than the bustling port city of Alexandria. Ships, their hulls weighed down with spices, papyrus, and fine silks, sailed into its harbors from distant lands. Yet, the waters were unforgiving, and the reefs, hidden just beneath the surface, claimed many a vessel before it could reach safety. It was in this city, a jewel of the Hellenistic world, that Pharaoh Ptolemy I stood atop the rocky coastline, watching the horizon darken as the sun dipped below the waves. He had seen the wreckage of countless merchant ships wash upon the shores, and he knew something had to change. A beacon, a guiding light, this was what Alexandria needed. And so, with the authority of a ruler determined to cement his legacy, he decreed the construction of a lighthouse that would outshine all structures before it. The task of designing this marvel fell upon Sostratus of Cnidus, a man whose mind was as sharp as the chisel he wielded. Unlike most architects who sought only function or beauty, Sostratus envisioned both. He stood before Ptolemy II Philadelphus, son of the late ruler, unrolling a parchment that bore the detailed designs of what would become the Lighthouse of Alexandria. The base, he explained, pointing to the square foundation, will be built of limestone and lead, strong enough to withstand both time and tide. Above it, an octagonal midsection, narrower but reinforced. And at the summit, a cylindrical tower where the fire shall burn, its light amplified by polished bronze mirrors. Ptolemy II studied the design, his expression unreadable. He was a ruler who understood the power of legacy, of immortality carved in stone. Finally, he nodded. Begin at once. As construction commenced, Sostratus oversaw a workforce of hundreds, stonemasons, engineers, and slaves toiling under the relentless Egyptian sun. The quarrying of limestone from nearby cliffs filled the air with dust, while scaffolds rose like skeletal fingers against the sky. The lighthouse grew, tier by tier, reaching ever upward as months turned to years. Yet, conflict simmered beneath the surface. Sostratus, though brilliant, was no nobleman. His name would never be carved upon the lighthouse, for Ptolemy II insisted that the structure would bear only the ruler's inscription, ensuring the world remembered the lighthouse as his achievement alone. Still, Sostratus harbored his own ambitions. The thought of his work vanishing into anonymity gnawed at him, yet he knew patience was a virtue. One day, long after the lighthouse stood tall against the sky, the truth would emerge. Finally, after years of labor, the Lighthouse of Alexandria was completed. It stood over 100 meters high, its beacon guiding sailors safely home. As the flames roared atop the tower for the first time, Ptolemy II stood at its base, drinking in the sight of his enduring legacy. And somewhere in the shadows, Sostratus watched in silence, knowing that though history may forget the ruler's name, it would never forget his masterpiece. Legends and mysteries. In the years that followed, the Lighthouse of Alexandria became more than a beacon, it became a legend. Sailors, merchants, and scholars whispered of its marvels, their voices weaving myths into the fabric of history. Some tales spoke of supernatural powers, while others hinted at secrets hidden within its towering walls. One such story revolved around a mysterious mirror, said to be mounted at the lighthouse's peak. Crafted with uncanny precision, it was rumored to reflect sunlight so intensely that it could set enemy ships ablaze before they reached the shore. Though historians debate its truth, the myth endured, striking awe into the hearts of those who navigated the Mediterranean. Among those captivated by such tales was Callimachus, a scholar of the great library of Alexandria. He dedicated his life to preserving knowledge, yet even he could not separate truth from myth when it came to the lighthouse. He often sat by the harbor, watching the golden glow of the tower against the night sky, wondering if its secrets would ever be fully uncovered. Another legend spoke of a hidden inscription left by Sostratus. Unable to claim credit for his masterpiece, it was said that he had inscribed his name beneath the official dedication to Ptolemy II. Sostratus of Cnidus, son of Dexiphanes, to the gods, saviors of sailors, he had supposedly written, covered by a layer of plaster that time would one day strip away. Yet, not all stories were ones of wonder. Some spoke of ghostly lights appearing even after the beacon was extinguished, guiding ships to safety or to ruin. Were they remnants of the lighthouse's dying flame or the spirits of lost sailors? No one could say for certain. As the lighthouse stood the test of time, its myths grew stronger. Callimachus, now an old man, still watched its light shimmer in the distance. He had written much about the lighthouse, but he knew that for every truth recorded, a dozen mysteries remained. And as the waves lapped against the shore, carrying whispers of old sailors and their fabled journeys, the Lighthouse of Alexandria stood unmoved, its legends illuminating the world as brightly as its flame. The fall of a giant. Time, the greatest adversary of all things, began to take its toll on the Lighthouse of Alexandria. For centuries, it stood unwavering against the relentless winds and battering waves, a guardian of the sea. But the earth beneath it stirred, and nature's fury showed no reverence for even the greatest of human creations. The first great tremor struck in 956 CE. The ground groaned, sending ripples through the city, and though the lighthouse swayed, it remained standing. Cracks formed along its stonework, yet the fire continued to burn, offering light to those at sea. Alexandria's rulers ordered repairs, reinforcing its foundation, but they could not foresee the devastation that was yet to come. In 1303, a second earthquake, stronger than the first, rolled through the land. This time, the lighthouse suffered more than mere cracks. Sections of its upper tower crumbled, sending debris crashing into the sea. What was once a marvel of engineering now stood wounded, its once magnificent light dimmed. But it was the final blow in 1323 that sealed its fate. A third and final earthquake struck with such force that the remaining structure collapsed entirely. The great lighthouse, the pride of Alexandria, was no more. Stones that had once kissed the sky now lay beneath the waves, lost to time. A legacy that endures. Though the Lighthouse of Alexandria no longer graces the horizon, its spirit endures in the echoes of history. Explorers, scholars, and dreamers still seek its remnants beneath the waves, hoping to uncover the secrets of its grandeur. The citadel of Cape Bay, built upon its ruins, stands as a reminder that even fallen wonders shape the future. Architects and engineers continue to marvel at its construction, using its design principles as inspiration for modern lighthouses and towers. Its legend, immortalized in books, films, and art, ensures that the beacon of Alexandria still burns in human memory. In every lighthouse that stands today, there is a whisper of its legacy. And as long as ships sail the seas, guided by the light of distant towers, the Lighthouse of Alexandria will never truly be forgotten.